Two, the champion Ruiz in the white, blue down the sides, and advertising everywhere. In against Slick Willy Wise in the purple and black. Scheduled for 12. Ruiz would appear to be the heavier hitter, and his record would indicate that he's a much bigger puncher than is Willy Wise, who is called Slick for all of the obvious reasons. He is hard to get a good shot at, very quick-handed, quick-footed, and an outstanding boxer.
But quickness has been his major asset as a professional fighter. His last two fights he's lost, Tom, but he's lost a very good fighter. Santos Cardona, extremely highly ranked fighter. We saw that one here at the Forum. He was stopped in 9 rounds. And prior to that, Daryl Coley, who happens to be currently the #1 contender in the WBC for Oscar De La Hoya's championship, and he lost a 12-round decision. And if you go back to '97, Wise posted a victory over Dinan Tobella, South African, who has held the WBO championship. So he has beaten some good fighters along the way, lost to some very good fighters as well.
Yeah, and he's been in with some very good fighters, as Rich has enumerated them for you. In that last time we saw him fight, he got knocked down in the 2nd round and was still back and punching away and trying to do his level best when he just was overcome in the 9th round. And he's got a couple of quick moves there. He was hanging on pretty close.
Ruiz is cut. His left eye now is cut, blood dripping down the left side of his face. And Wise was using some tricks there. He was holding on with one hand and punching with the other.
He had that left arm and hand of Ruiz's just locked right in and banging away with his own left all the while. And Ruiz now with a pretty good size cut and bleeding rather profusely as he backs Willy against the ropes above us, punching away, banging hard to the body, and Willy covering up for the most part and fights his way off the rope.
Good work by Ruiz to the body, trying to slow down the better, and he hurt him there, I think.
Remember now, Slick Willy is 32 years of age, and the champion Ruiz is 26. Good right hand by Wise. Had he been a bigger puncher, might very well have rocked Ruiz.
Yeah, but you still can't get careless with him, and I think Ruiz did. Ruiz has been dominating the last minute, and I think he did, and Wise made him pay for it. Wise is very calm in there, Tom. He sticks right to his game plan. Now, critical here also will be Raul Cai's decision on whether that was a headbutt or a punch. We'll find out between rounds. If he doesn't know, he will consult with the judges to see if any of them saw a headbutt.
Got above the left eye of Edgar Ruiz, bleeding pretty good. And after the bell, a couple of pretty solid shots. And Cais goes over to tell the Willy Wise, no, between sounds of the bell we fight, not when the bell sounds.
There you see how, look at Wise, locks up that arm, punches there a little bit. Look at him work the left while swinging Ruiz around, gives him a little forearm shiver. That was just veteran work.
Cais looking at both men in relationship to regarding that cut.
End of the round, Ruiz did better work, but Wise, right at the end of the round, came back. Ruiz, a little disgusted, spit out his mouthpiece as he went back. The cut was caused by a punch, according to Raul Cais. So if Ruiz is stopped, that's a pretty significant cut there. If he is stopped... fight, and he's been a decent fighter ever since.
Yeah. Here he is at 32 years of age with a nice record, 23-5, 7 knockouts. Gets away from most of those big-time bombs thrown by Ruiz, who is trying to work to the body to slow this quick, clever boxer down.
Ruiz is a very good body puncher, and I think he's an exception to the commonly held theory, Tom, that you're either born with power or you don't have it, right? And I think that Ruiz has developed power, and developed better power, at least, since he's been fighting. I mean, he came to the United States basically with a reputation as a very good boxer without a great punch, but he's been punching harder and scoring knockouts here at the Forum with the increasing frequency.
He has scored repeatedly here with that left hand to the body. He has really put some hurts on Willy Wise, who doesn't outwardly show that, but you can see that the type of punch that is a hurtful thing. Ruiz working to the body very well. That's a wild left hand with more of a clubbing effect than a dramatic punch thrown by Ruiz, and that was just a tad low, and Ruiz cautions the champion to bring his punches up.
Ruiz is now managed by Ricardo Maldonado, and that's a significant thing for him because he's gotten management with a guy here who knows how to steer fighters into world championship shots.
Yep. And as we watch this fight, and we're watching it now in the third round, and as it continues to develop, Ruiz's punching power is seeming, is apparently having some kind of an effect on Willy.
I think it's the body punching power.
Truly. They've been solid shots, and while Wise nods up and down, yeah, not a bad punch. Come on, let's get it on, while Ruiz accommodates him with a solid left-right combination. Back comes Wise, but his punches, while nice, are not nearly.
Now Ruiz nods at him.
Yeah, not nearly as devastating. Oh, there's a low blow that goes, and is Kais going to call? He's going to call it. He's calling it a knockdown.
A knockdown. He may be knocked out, Tom. He spit out his mouthpiece. He may be done. He's claiming low blow.
Boy, it was a low blow.
Kais is saying no.
It was a low blow. There's the bell. It was a low blow.
Well, very controversial end of the round there. Although Wise does not argue, but he's too doubled over in pain to argue.
Take another look at this, Rich.
All right, let's see if we can see the low. There it is. It is a right hand low.
Oh,
no doubt
low.
about it.
Low blow.
It's a low blow, and Raul Kais perhaps was blocked from the view, but he called that a knockdown immediately. He was decisive in his call.
Come on, let's not play around.
Well,
That was a legal blow, right to the solar plexus. Come on, no, you gotta liven up. Come on, now, get ready. Come on,
well,
come on.
Kais is insisting it was a legal blow, even though the camera shows it was not.
Get on the outside.
Watch it again.
All right, Kais said that's a legal blow. I don't agree. Right hand appears to be low. Kais said it was to the solar plexus. I certainly don't think it was there.
No.
And seeing it in there in that slow motion, it did not appear to me as low as when he first threw it, Tom, when we watched it here.
But it was below that black band around Slick Willy's waist that says Slick on it. At any rate, it's a moot point because it was registered as a knockdown, and if you're going to score it, it's got to be a 10-8 round, I would think, in favor of the champion. Nice right hand. Oh, boy. Willy looks like he is on rubber legs for a second. I guess he just tangled himself up.
Well, I think he slid a little on that Budweiser sign in the middle of the ring, Tom, and sometimes that area of the ring on the paint gets slick.
Ruiz almost looking to measure his man now, realizing that he is by far and away a heavier hitter than the guy he's working over.
Wise is working hard, Tom, but the body punches are taking their toll, and they're taking the fight out of him.
And that right hand didn't help matters too much. Gets nailed again, driven back into the rope. They exchange jabs. Wise is in the purple. Consummate boxer, but he'll have to be at his very best and then some to hold off Ruiz, who's just teeing off on him with every opportunity.
Ruiz was very blatant and upfront about saying he needed a knockout in this fight. He wants a knockout. And you know why he says that, Tom? He says, I need a knockout so I can keep my popularity. I need a knockout so that people will continue to follow my career. Because I'm prepared to box 12 rounds, but he seems to understand that you need to be an entertaining fighter, too, if you're going to bring fans running with cash to the box office.
Yep, he's ranked number 4 by the WBO, the parent organization of the NABO. Wise takes another shot down at the belt and a left hand to follow and another left to the body.
That was surely a legal blow by Ruiz. He's taking everything out of Wise with those body punches. He's just sapping the strength of Willy Wise.
And Wise every now and then will connect with a couple of solid shots of his own, but His punching power in no way measures up to that of Ruiz.
It would not be surprising to see Wise, if he is knocked out in this fight, to see him knocked out with a body punch.
You know, as you watch him, he is certainly fit and in condition. Those shots are devastating.
Ruiz, in addition to his development in the ring, in terms of actual fights, sparred with Oscar De La Hoya, said that taught him a lot. He learned a great deal, not only in terms of his technique, but also how to prepare to fight a fight and how to prepare to win.
Wise trying to give as good as he's getting, but he just can't punch with Ruiz. As the round comes to a close, we'll be back in a moment.
What a day. I get fired on national TV.
Oh, it could be worse.
How could it possibly be worse, Frank?
I think it just got worse.
And now, Budweiser's replacement for Louis the Lizard,
No.
the Ferret.
This is not going to be good for my blood pressure.
He's good.
Don't encourage him, Frank.
So, Delmar, how many chickens have you got on this farm?
50,000.
Wow. See, sometimes you get so busy on the farm, you ever miss having breakfast?
Sometimes we'll have breakfast for dinner, yeah.
Well, how about IHOP's $3.99 best of the best breakfast? You get 2 buttermilk pancakes topped with strawberry, blueberry, or cinnamon apple, plus eggs, bacon, sausage, ham, and hash browns for $3.99.
I'd like to try it.
So this is Cliff in America's Heartland, reminding you that any time's a great time for breakfast at IHOP. So, Delmar, which did come first, then, the chicken or the egg?
I don't know.
They've stopped the thing for just a moment here. They want the corner of Ruiz cleaned up, and they do that with the squeegee. Now we know why they had 7 guys over there. One of them brought the squeegee with it. Here we go for round number 5.
He's the water monitor.
Back in the 3rd round by Ruiz, who's in the white trunks. He's the champion. Decked Willy Wise with a punch that we in the camera thought was a little low. Not so, said referee Raul Caiz. So within the books is a knockdown. It came right at the very end of the round. And Ruiz now becoming much more confident. Big, devastating punches to the body.
In Willy Wise's corner, they want him to stay on the outside. Such a problem for him. They feel that he can't win, obviously, in a shootout with Ruiz, so they don't want him coming inside. They want him doing what he's doing there, staying at long range, trying to outquick Ruiz. As they said, take him to school. Use your experience and your savvy. Just a jab, get in, get out if you're going to go inside. As he does right there. That's a nice little bit of work by Willy Wise.
Nice right hand lead, scores with it, and steps away, and Ruiz looking after him as though he were the will of the wisp. As you look at the 2 men up there, I'm sure you... well, I'm not that sure, but as I watch the 2, Ruiz seems to be growing bigger and bigger, and Wise smaller and smaller. Wise in the purple, Ruiz in the white.
I think Ruiz is going to have to be considered a factor in this division. Under 40 pounds. Good division in boxing, a lot of talent there.
And his punches really are having a toll, taking a toll on slick Willy Wise.
Respiren los dos.
And I think it's becoming apparent to Ruiz that Wise has hit him a few solid shots, but really hasn't hurt him yet.
And that, of course, does wonders for your confidence, because you can walk right in and basically try to walk through the punches. In the case of Wise being an opponent, that's not always wise, because he's got that quickness and he can rip off a quick combination, even though it may not be devastating as you come in.
He stands right there and exchanges punches with Ruiz. Steady effort by Wise as they battle right above us, and Wise slips away from the champion. Comes in and throws some nice combinations and makes him miss.
If you're wondering who the 140-pound champion is in the WBO, it's Carlos Bolillo Gonzalez.
Yes.
And that would be, to say, an action fight, to say the least, if those 2 got together.
Well, Ruiz would have to come down. He's fighting at 147. So he'd have to come down if if he wanted to get in with Willy Gonzalez. And there's the bell, and that brings us to the end of the 5th round here. It is scheduled for 12. Forum Boxing invites all the fight fans to tune in to Forum Boxing on the internet. Visit the Forum website at www.forumboxing.com. All the latest boxing news yours to enjoy on the Forum Boxing website. That's www.forumboxing.com. Check it out. Speaking of Willy Gonzalez, isn't he scheduled to go against...
jab and take this to work. All right.
In an upcoming Forum Boxing bout?
Good job, huh?
1, 2, 3. Up with the hook. He can't find you after that, okay? Right, one side by here. Stick to the side. Good rinse. Swallow a little bit. All right. Keep those abdominals tight while you're fighting. Hey. The jab, double jab right hand. Double jab right hand. One right hand down here, gentlemen. One up, one down.
Well, I tell you, they don't seem to be in any kind of a panic mode over in Slick Willie Wise's corner. And he is an outstanding boxer, and that is just exactly what he has going for him. And, of course, the old adage is when you got a puncher and a boxer, it's always the puncher who gets that extra special nod because he can turn things around in a split second. Wise does not have a great knockout record, 7 KOs and 23 victories. So to expect him to knock Ruiz out is possible, but it is a long shot to be sure. But he is a clever boxer, and you have to admire his technique and style, his heart and stamina.
If he had just a little bit more punch and a little bit more arm length.
Yeah, if, you know. Because he has landed some solid shots, and Ruiz has just blinked his way right through.
And the WBO Welterweight champion found at the 147-pound limit is Ahmed Kachev, who's certainly the least known of the welterweight champions, and obviously not in the class with the other champion. Oh, there's the best punch of the fight for Wise.
Yeah, and all it did was just send a spray of perspiration and sweat off of the head of Ruiz, who kind of acknowledged it, but continues the task at hand.
Yeah, but it let him know he was there.
Oh, yes, and I'm wondering just how much of this boxing skill is being duly noted by the judges at ringside here. And whether they are as wrapped up in the punching power of Ruiz as I have been from time to time, I'm frank to admit. Wise is a clever boxer. Exchanges left hands now in a bit of a crouch.
They try to come over the top. Z waves that left arm down low, and then he tries to bring it up over the right hand of his opponent. Wise having his best round of the fight, I think.
Certainly gets nailed there. But he comes back with about 5 or 6 straight lefts, jabbing away, poking away. Didn't give Ruiz time to really get on the ropes with him and hurt him.
This is reminiscent of his performance against Santos Cardona, when he was knocked actually out of the ring and appeared finished and came back a round later. He had Cardona in trouble.
Indeed. You're watching the action in the 6th round. It is scheduled for 12. Ruiz is the champion. WBO Welterweight champ, and the two guys now stand there and exchange pretty good shots to the chops.
Wise is fooling Ruiz with that left hand. He's waving it down low and then coming over the top with it. And Ruiz is falling for it time and again.
I'm wondering how the judges are seeing this, because, boy, that eye now is really blossomed on Ruiz, and it is bleeding profusely.
Big round for Willy Wise.
No question about it. His best round, and Wise's corner people are up, exhorting him and their fans, and it's a considerable number of people who are cheering for the guy who will be the underdog. We'll go back and take a look at some of the action.
All right, good action in this round. There you see the left hook, and God brings a smile to the face, but that wasn't all that Wise had. He took a right hand there, but he came back strong again. Another left hook by Wise. Ruiz still throwing. Good exchanges, real good action in the round. I think Wise got the better of that round with the exception of that right hand.
Everything's fine.
All right, there's Willy Wise.
You got to keep him on the outside. Come with the double jab right hand. We haven't thrown that yet, all right? All right.
Double jab they're talking about, and across the way while they're working on the left eye of the champion Ruiz, and it was really spouting blood. That cut is more in the eyelid itself than above it, and that could be a worrisome thing, certainly an annoyance as they come up for round number 7. Check the scorecard, 59-54, Ruiz with what appears to be an overwhelming edge. Rushes at his eye, and it probably has started to bleed once again.
And again, if you're just joining us, that cut over Ruiz's eye was caused by a punch, not a headbutt. So if he was stopped due to that cut, if it gets really bad, he would lose his championship. He would not go to the scorecards. He would simply be stopped in a TKO as a result of cuts.
Nice sharp punching by Slick Willy Wise.
And is he encouraged, Tom? He found his second win.
Well, he had the best round of the fight for himself.
I just thought his strength was being sapped slowly but surely. Now the body punching of Ruiz.
Willy in the purple trunks. He went down in the 3rd round from what appeared to be a low blow, but it was considered something other than that by the referee, Ruiz, and duly noted.
Willy Wise is in this fight. Maybe not in the scorecards right now, but because of that cut and because he has quickness and can land a lot of punches, he is in there. And that last punch was right on the eye.
Yep. Well, it is a very inviting target. A target marked necessary in the Wise scheme of things. Work on it and just do as much damage to it as you can. Elusive. Slick Willy Wise out of New York.
We really haven't seen Ruiz in a difficult situation. And of course, he's winning this fight on points, Tom, but that cut makes it problematical for him here tonight. So it's the first chance we're really getting to taste, you know, in terms of his heart and character here, how he reacts to some adversity.
Less than a half minute remaining here in this, the 7th round. It's scheduled for 12. And 1 knockdown, as we told you, in the 3rd round. As the round comes to a close and the fight continues, we'll be back with more from the Great Western Forum.
Property owners, if weeds and brush are taking over your land, at last there is a solution. The amazing DR Field and Brush Mower can reclaim overgrown parts of your property with less work than you ever dreamed possible. Now, if you've ever tried to clear an overgrown field or ditch with a handheld brush cutter or a shaky sickle bar mower, you know they're exhausting to use. Take hold of a DR Field and Brush Mower, though, and you've got a whole different story. The DR knocks over brush and saplings up to 1 inch thick and chops most everything it cuts, so there's no tangle of vegetation to trip over or to pick up. So why let weeds and brush take over? Call now for complete details about the amazing new DR Field and Brush Mower. Call toll-free 1-800-310-6633 for your big free package all about the amazing DR all-terrain field and brush mower, plus special savings now in effect. That's 1-800-310-6633 for free DR details.
Out they come for round number 8. Concern, of course, in the corner of Ruiz over that eye. The cut, they say, not dangerous, Edgar, but it is deep and it is large and a pretty good slice right across the eyelid on the left eye. And Raul Case came over to say, Edgar, are you all right? And indeed, that eye could be a devastating item for the champion. They kept telling him, Rich, you got to knock him out.
They said, lad, let's knock him out this round.
Yeah.
And they told him, we can't stop the fight.
No.
The realization is there that, you know, they can't stop the fight and go to the scorecard.
Forget about that. If they stop the fight because he can't continue, that's it. He can't continue. Now, there's a classic point right there, that left hand by Willy Wise. the man had the kind of power that you would think would go with a 147-pounder, but he would really have Ruiz in trouble. Lands a solid right hand right up on that eye again, Rich.
It's amazing the way the spot of your opponent's blood, the sight of your opponent's blood, can send a surge of adrenaline in you, Tom, just when you think you're all done.
Yeah.
Indeed. Back up the point.
There's real concern in that corner of Ruiz.
It is a nasty cut, to be sure, and they've done nice work stopping it from being any more evident than it is. But, of course, as the fight goes along, and there's the right hand right up on that eye again, why it blossoms forth again with a spurt of blood. Into a clinch. Thais pulls them apart. We're in round number 8 that's scheduled for 12.
Ruiz trying to remain aggressive and continue the game plan that worked so very well for him in the first 5 rounds of this fight.
Nice right hand by Willy Wise again. And, of course, that eye is a target as big as the advertising on Ruiz's trunks. Boy, just a sign hung out there. Nice right-left combination by Wise.
Wise is doing a lot of feinting, and he's fooling Ruiz in a lot of occurrences here, Tom. He's staring down at the ground, waving his fists in front of him, and he's basically, as they told him to do, take the kid to school at times, and he is schooling Ruiz. Ruiz may very well win this fight, Tom, but he is learning some real lessons tonight.
No question about it. Slick Willy, at 32 years of age, is an accomplished boxer. Only 7 knockouts in his career. Not a big puncher, unfortunately. Blood continues to flow from the left eye of the champion, Ruiz. And Wise finds it a very inviting target. We'll be back.
Sunday. It's the day people call each other the most. And if you sign up for MCI 5-cent Sundays, it can also be the day you pay the least. Just 5 cents a minute every Sunday. In fact, if you call now, you'll pay just 10 cents a minute during the week. And that can really make a difference.
My sister and I always talk on Sundays. It's like a tradition, and we would really run up a bill. That's another tradition. Then we signed up for MCI 5-cent Sundays. And the bills went down. It's just 5 cents a minute. Every minute. Every Sunday. So now we could talk for half an hour for $1.50. That same call would cost $4.50 with AT&T's one rate plan. With MCI, we're paying 1/3 the price. Or talking 3 times as long. And my sister can talk. Mostly I listen. She was born to talk. Oh, I love her, but she talks.
And remember, 5 cents on Sundays is just the beginning. Call now, and you'll pay 10 cents a minute during the week.
Call 1-800-708-2241 to sign up.
Round number 9. Ruiz and his people continue to work feverishly over that cut on the left eye. It is a worrisome, bothersome thing, to be sure. The people reiterating you've got to go and knock him out. In the meantime, Willy Wise boxing along. Very impressive. Already the eye on Ruiz bleeding again. They've just been out there about 10 seconds here in round number 9.
Well, we had Ruiz winning by 6 points earlier in the fight, but you have to feel that the gap is narrowing now. And
yeah, I think Slick Willy may have won the last 3 rounds.
And it may be that Ruiz still needs to win another round or 2 prior to the end of the fight.
Remember, it's scheduled for 12. It is the NABO welterweight title. Ruiz has it. This is his 2nd title defense. He beat Morales for the crown, and then he hammered Jesus Chong to keep it going. And he had Slick Willy down.
And it's very fortunate for Ruiz now that was called a legal blow, because it gave him a big edge in the scoring, and he didn't have anything taken away from him. Had that been ruled, say, a low blow, Tom, and the points taken away from him, the scoring would be far closer than it is right now.
So there's an overhand right. Let me correct myself. He won the title from Benitez. Won the title when he knocked him out. Boy, that eye is a mess, isn't it? You know, they've really done some remarkably fine work on it to keep it from just slamming shut and swelling up. I tell you, Slick Willy has everything but a punch. Hold it. Now the...
Does that open up too?
I don't know. Kais has...
From our vantage point, we can't see it, but apparently it is bleeding because they're taking him right over to the...
Yep. Now he's got one, oh boy, right over the right eye.
Now this could actually, believe it or not, this could work to... This could work here to Ruiz's advantage, because now if the fight is stopped, if this is ruled a headbutt, Tom...
They're stopping the fight.
Then they would go to the scorecards. Now, so here's going to be a very important ruling by Kais. Was this a headbutt? Was this a punch?
I don't know. They're calling it a headbutt. They're calling it a headbutt. Well, if it's a headbutt, then I'm afraid Slick Willy's in trouble. Huh?
I think they'll have to go to the scorecards. That actually works in Ruiz's favor. I'm sure Ruiz is ahead on points.
Although I think
Wise was the guy that was coming on.
Yeah, and I think Wise won the last 3 rounds. I couldn't be sure about that, but if I were keeping score, I would have given Wise the last 3. Boy, I tell you, Ruiz may go out of here with his title intact, but it is going to be a very bloody Ruiz, who has got just an enormous cut above his right eye and one in the eyebrow.
All right, take a look at it there. There's the clash of heads. Good call by Kais. You see it. There's a lot of punches there, but there was the headbutt. It was very quick. But Raul Kais quite correctly ruled that that was a headbutt. And there's the cut that may actually save the title
for
Ruiz.
We'll be back to see how the judges see the whole thing right after we see about this.
Going to Kansas City, here I come.
The blues makes you feel alive.
I don't want much.
Presenting Living the Blues.
I just want a little bit. Rock me, baby. Rock me all night long.
I said, get blues classics for just $12.99.
Something's got a hold on me here. You know the nighttime
Use your credit card and get a free bonus album of Chicago blues.
You know you shook me, baby.
Then audition other Living the Blues albums. Credit card users get 2 albums for just $12.99.
To order, call 1-800-963-8181. Use your credit card and receive your free Blues Giants cassette or CD. Or send $12.99 plus $3.95 shipping to the address on your screen.
Welcome back to the Great Western Forum. We're in the 9th round. The fight has been stopped. Ruiz, the champion, judged to be unable to continue because of a headbutt, and a severe one. It was right over his right eye, opened up an enormous cut. He had been laboring with a cut over his left eye that was from a punch earlier in the fight. Now Jimmy Lennon Jr. has picked up all of the judges' cards, so let's find out indeed if Ruiz was saved by a headbutt and still has his title. Jimmy, if you will, please.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have the time of 2 minutes, 3 seconds of round number 9. This bout has been stopped due to an unintentional headbutt. Our ringside physician, Dr. Paul Wallace, advises our referee, Raul Kais, to stop the contest as Ruiz is unable to continue. Therefore, we go to the score cards. Our judges score the bout unanimously. Lou Filippo sees the bout 76-75. Vince Delgado scores it 77-74. Marty Denkin sees the bout 78-73. All 3 in favor of the winner. And still NABO welterweight champion Edgar Ruiz.
Well, it certainly is a tough night for Ruiz, who will go out of the ring with his crown, but certainly battered up. And for Slick Willy, who just have put on a tremendous display of boxing ability in the closing rounds, and was truly coming on very strong. The headbutt robbed him perhaps of going out of here with the title tonight. At any rate, Ruiz will have the crown. And when you see him up there now with Rich Murata, you can really see the effects of a punch to his left eye and the headbutt above the right eye. The man's face is pretty well chewed up. Rich, if you will, please.
All right, Edgar, you don't look too pretty right now.
Ahorita no estás muy guapo, dice.